Okay, what's up, everybody? I'm going to cover a question here. Did I get vaccinated before I came to the Philippines, and is this something that you should do? I'm going to right off tell you, no, I didn't get vaccinated for anything, but I'm going to tell you why I didn't get vaccinated for anything. And I'm not coming at this subject totally blind because I've been a nurse for I'm a retired nurse, actually. So the CDC is a government agency, and I'm not overexcited with government agencies all the time and what they find and how they spend their money and how they want me to spend my money. But putting that aside, they they suggest when you travel to the Philippines that you get vaccinated for hepatitis A, hepatitis B, typhoid fever, yellow fever, Japanese encephalitis, rabies, meningitis, polio, measles, mumps, rubella, MMR, tetanus, diphtheria, chickenpox, shingles, pneumonia, influenza. Some of them things I've already had vaccinations for, and some of the vaccinations that I've had, I don't think I needed, but the government thought that I should have that, especially being a nurse. Um, if you're the type of person who thinks, this is what the government recommends, I should do that. Well, then, you go ahead and do that. But I grew up, I had chicken pox, I had the measles, I had the mumps, okay? And I've never seen anybody die from that. Maybe you have, but I haven't. And I'll guarantee you that here in the Philippines, they don't vaccinate all the children for measles and chickenpox, and I don't know how big an outbreak that is here. It's not. It can't be. It can't be enormous because I've never seen a child with that. The things that I was concerned with was Japanese encephalitis carried by the mosquitoes, and some yellow fever. I wouldn't be interested in having things that you could get from the food here. They concern me. But when I went on the CDC site and I looked up the cost of these vaccinations, the cost is no joke, okay, unless you got a lot of money to throw around. But as far as Dungy, I don't even see that on their list, but that's a mosquito-borne virus that is in the Philippines, and it's they even had a little bit of an outbreak in my area, but for the most part, I've never seen anybody who's had it, and I compare it to what I back home. There's probably 6 diseases, viruses that are spread by mosquitoes just in the United States, and that's no joke either. But I don't vaccinate for that either over there, and the mosquitoes are a bigger problem for me in the States than they are here. Living on the ocean, I don't even see mosquitoes. It's very rare. Now I travel to the jungle. There can be more mosquitoes depending on when it rained and the time of year, I imagine. But like I say, I'm coming at this with the point of view that you're operating with some common sense that I would think. If you're going to run around and have unprotected sex, yeah, you better get hepatitis B vaccinations. If you're going to run around and eat every piece of food that you see cooked by who knows what, then you're going to have to get vaccinated for things that can be in food. I use my mind a little, and when I go out and eat, are they cooking it there? Are they cooking it long enough? I use, if I eat at a restaurant, I should feel fairly safe. I don't have a problem with that. Um, I don't eat raw fish, and maybe you do. So there's an issue there too. I like my food cooked, so then I don't I don't worry about anything. But if you are more risky on some things than I would be, then maybe you need to think a little bit more about some of these vaccinations than what I did. But if you just be smart, I don't think you have too much to worry about. It's like some people don't get along with the Filipinos. Well, all you gotta do is treat them nice, and they treat you better than you'll treat them. But if you run around with a bad attitude, you're gonna find some trouble. That's just the way it is. You just have to be smart, no matter where you're at. And that doesn't go for the Philippines. That goes for everywhere, every country. You treat people with respect, they treat you back. You look at the food that's cooked, you eat it. You eat that, no problem. Okay, so. In the United States, every year there's 300,000 cases of Lyme disease, and Lyme disease will kill you, or it can kill you, and that will mess you up, and that could stay with you forever. That's a far bigger problem, in my opinion, than the dengue mosquito here, and. Again, most diseases are for elderly people or young children that get affected the worst. But you consider that, and then you consider the vaccinations that I looked up on the CDC. Their effectiveness, most of them, is like 20%, 15% effective from what I've seen. And then what they define as effective is that when you get the disease that you would normally get, the symptoms would be decreased by 30% in severity. So you're still going to get whatever you've been vaccinated from. It's just, in theory, supposed to be a less rough time. That's just insanity to me. In the vaccinations, I don't know how many of you knows, but the people who make vaccinations in the United States cannot legally be sued for anything. No matter what they put in it, no matter what it does to you, the Supreme Court ruled that they can put in this vaccination whatever they want, okay, no matter what it does to you. So they have no liability, and that's pretty scary too. So vaccinations, they can be good. If I got bit by a dog here that had rabies, which I haven't seen, but I think that's a possibility. If there's a lot of dogs here, but then I'm smart enough to stay away from the dogs with the foam around their mouth. But then I would go get vaccinated for it. If I got shingles, I would go get the antibiotic for that, and in 7 days it would be gone. I'm not about to get the vaccination for any of them things before it ever happens and have all them chemicals jostling around inside of me. So, yeah, if you're going to be hiking in the jungle here, which I can't imagine you doing, but some people might like that. Maybe I would get vaccinated for something. But if you're living in a city, they generally don't have huge amounts of mosquitoes that I have seen, you have to get out a little bit to see a few mosquitoes, and then it's still not as bad as in the States, because the mosquitoes are very aggressive in the United States, as far as I'm concerned too. But here, even the flies don't bother me here. It's the locals, they put fish out in the sun to dry all day. Okay, they'd eat dried fish. There's no flies. The flies don't come onto the fish, and they don't lay all their eggs and all this hoobla ha. If you had dried fish back in the States and you put that in the sun, you'd have more maggots than you could shake a stick at in a day's time. So the bugs and the pests aren't as ferocious here. But, you know, like I said, if you like to dot your T's and take the chance, I think you're taking a chance by taking the shot, actually. You do your own thing. I'm just telling you, I haven't had any problem with it. I haven't seen anybody with any problems of this. And if I have a problem, I'll then go to the doctor and get a script, which is another story. I'll do another video here on my thoughts on the healthcare here and what I do. And I hope you have a good day, great week, and like and subscribe, will you, if you like the video and if it's helpful. Appreciate it. Thank you.